Hey ICONists, this is John CC. I'd like to welcome you to the second episode of Liquidity, where we take a deeper technical dive into ICX and just talk about the market in general. So going back off of the last episode, we had what looked like a prime ICX breakout. We had the support being tested numerous times at around 29 cents. We had the 50% retrace and what looked like to be a completed Elliott wave count. What ended up happening was Bitcoin dominance took over, and the market pretty much went down when Bitcoin went down. So the count did not look completed. It looked completed, but was not completed based on the fact that Bitcoin took another leg down. So let's take a look, start over, and see pretty much what went wrong and what went right. I try to keep this video as neutral as possible, considering that I am a bag holder of ICX, but I'm not going to hide away from the fact that I still think ICX is extremely bullish. We are probably on the cusp of maybe an alt season. I'll get into that a little bit later. But for now, let's take a look at ICX USDT on the weekly. And I want to go over the basic Elliott wave count here. So Elliott wave count is pretty much comprised of 5 waves going up and 3 waves going down. And the 5 waves going up is called a motive move that has 3 impulses, the first, third, and fifth leg. And the second and fourth legs are all considered corrections. So what we get now is a 5-wave move up and then a 3-wave move down. But this whole complex right here can be extrapolated into this complex right here. So when we see this and this, it can also be seen here on a micro level. On a larger level, this could be considered the 1 wave here, and this could be considered the 2 wave. So what we get here is also what we see here, and that's the way Elliott wave structures work. So if we try to count the weekly, here's our bottom in December. We have a wave 1 here, a wave 2 correction here, wave 3 here, a wave 4 correction here, and a wave 5 here. And this completes the wave 1. Ensuing is our A, B, C 3-wave correction. And so on a grander level, what this means is that this is our 1, this is our 2, and what we're going to start now will be our 3. This is going to be our largest, usually our largest wave in the motive wave series. We have another correction and a 5th wave down. Of course, when we get to here, we'll probably get another ABC like this. And then we start another 5-wave move up. And so on. So that's the general schematic of Elliott waves and the way Elliott waves work. So if we look at the daily, it looks like what we had was actually an extension of this correction. So the correction ends here. Confluent here is that we retrace into this 786 and 618 level, which is pretty low. So speaking fundamentally, it seems like the market doesn't really like ICX and a lot of traders are abandoning too quickly. But I do believe if you're patient enough, we will get a big rise. We have staking coming up in August. That should be a big boost to the network. There's a lot of things going on within ICX, especially with decentralized ID, chain ID, all that good stuff that people are not looking into. But if we stay patient, because we know as ICONists and as people who are believing in this project, there are a lot of good things coming. It's just a matter of time. So what went wrong as to why the price dropped from the support? Well, we have to take a look at Bitcoin dominance. So if we take a look at Bitcoin dominance, we ended up continuing to move up here, but if we take a deeper look, it looks like this is about to reject. So we have this resistance here. I'll highlight this in red. And pretty much this is like an area where the charts found a previous resistance or turning point. And we can see that this rejected before. So this is kind of an area that we want to see rejected again. We ended up breaking through this resistance, but it was kind of on a weak push up. And we can highlight or earmark this area here. This is probably going to be the last point of resistance. If we go up any higher than this, there's a good chance that if we break through, we're going to just keep on going up. But the fact that we ended up breaking here was a very good sign. And it was around here that icon was at the 29-cent support here. So once this broke on dominance, the resistance broke, we ended up coming up to here, which was the bottom around here at 23 cents. And we got a big push up because Bitcoin dominance started taking a fall. If we take a deeper look, yeah, we're starting to see some weakness and we're coming down. So what does this mean? Well, let me show you guys my completed Bitcoin dominance chart here. So it looks like, and remember we're going about LE wave counts again, it looks like we have completed the 1, 2, 3, 4, and what looks to be the 5th wave up here. We rejected exactly at the top of this resistance at around 69-70%. And what we're forming now is what we call a divergence. A bearish divergence occurs when in the price you have a higher high, and in the indicator you have a higher low. So what this means is we can expect the divergence to play out with it coming down like this and eventually the price meeting it. So in an LUA perspective, now what we can expect is this A, B, C type correction. And when Bitcoin dominance takes a fall, that is when we can expect our altcoins to make a move up. So this was a chart shared by a member from my Discord, where we take a look at the LH, which stands for lower high, and the LL, which stands for lower low. And these are all periods where we saw an alt market move. This was the biggest alt market here. There's another big alt market here. It looks like we finally get a potential lower high. And are we going to get a lower low? I really do think that we are on the cusp of an alt season. We just have to remain patient. I showed you the charts. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up here. We're rejecting off of this resistance. And of course, we have formed this divergence shown here. So things are looking pretty primed for Bitcoin dominance going down and altcoins moving up. Now let's take a look at some ICX charts. First, we'll take a look at BTC, ICX BTC. It looks like I can count a 5 waves down here. We are consolidating in this area. It doesn't look, yeah, it looks like it's coming down into like some sort of like wedge here. If we look at this chart, which is a indicator, which is a momentum indicator, we're showing a little bit of a tug of war. We're seeing up, down, up, down, up, down. We currently have a green dot, which indicates bullish momentum. So what we want to see is a push up, and we can expect that with Bitcoin dominance dropping. Now, we could also break down, but I'm just at the moment not seeing it with everything that I'm looking at the market right now. Bitcoin dominance is rejecting off of that top last level. We see that momentum is starting to pick up for ICX. If we take a look at ICX USDT, you see the same thing. We haven't gotten the bullish signal yet on the wave trend indicator, this momentum indicator, but as you can see, it's starting to curl up and the downward pressure is starting to decline. So the good news is that we are potentially on the cusp of an alt season. We do see that momentum is picking up. Let's take a look at 4 hour. 4 hour is now bearish. We bounce bullish. We bounce out of the oversold territory and we're making our way up. I can expect price maybe to consolidate a little bit longer here. It could continue back down like this, or it could continue moving up. We just got to watch momentum. But as I said before, it looks like with Bitcoin dominance slowing down, we could be getting a push up. So the good news is that we might be on a move up. The bad news is if we take a look at this indicator to the right here, this is called the VPVR, volume profile visible range, there is a lot of overhead resistance. And of course, a lot of this resistance was created when we kept testing off of the support here at 29 cents, which is now a resistance. So we do have a lot of hurdles to clear, but let's take a look at some of the fundamentals. We have staking coming up in August. When staking goes live, I do expect a lot of people who are, I guess, trading ICX or have ICX on Binance to start moving it to wallets so that they can stake it for a reward, especially the believers. That should remove a lot of the circulating supply off of the market. We had ICX coming out with a Medium article indicating that the circulating supply is going to decrease based on the amount held in treasury, the amount held by investors, and so forth. So guys, I'm still bullish on ICX. I know that things are not looking too good, but there are a lot of things coming. I ask everyone to remain a little bit more patient. We are going to get potentially the alt season coming up with Bitcoin dominance dropping. A lot of people are spreading so much FUD out there. This is a sign of capitulation. This is people who are backholding for quite a while and are getting frustrated. So overall, guys, this is just an opinion. This is not financial advice. I expect you guys to do your due diligence, but I'm remaining bullish on ICX, and I hope you guys are as well. I think we're almost there, just a little bit longer, just to be patient for one more month. Let's see what comes with staking. Let's see what impact the price has with staking coming into play, with Bitcoin dominance dropping. And as always, guys, I wish you the best of luck with your trading. And as always, let the trades come to you.